That's why I wrote the sheriff. I got a bunch of Detroiters in the house. It's right from That's why you shouldn't mess with me. Okay.
Think I'm right the right
You're
height?
good. Here's the timer.
Oh, you're the timer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, unaccustomed to my own public speaking, I'll give it the best way I can. Back in the 60s, morals were a little higher than they are now. Just a tad. And I was dating a good Catholic girl, who I eventually married, by the way. But we were on a date, and it was like 12 dates in before I even got to first base. It was really hard for me to get to second base. I had to make promises, commitments, and even a fake ring that I was going to marry her with. But this true story is a sad part about this. But anyway, we get to the place, it's called Red Run Park. And that's where everybody parks that know anything about parking. I'd already struck out twice before with young ladies, and I was a teenager with a car, so I had lots of opportunities, but they never seemed to pan out. So I even committed to her religion. She was Catholic, and I was Protestant. But, so we finally got into the seat of the car, and I moved it back, because I had a Toyota back then, brand new, 69 Toyota. And the seats reclined, which was unusual, but for that car, it worked out great for me. I got to the point of telling her, this is what you do, and we started making some moves like Seeger said you should. By the way, I use that song as a template to... So anyway, I get to the point where I look around and nothing's happening out there. It's nice and dark, a few other cars. I tilt the seat back. Well, that was the first big mistake because she started screaming. I said, well, I don't think I'm going to get much farther with this. But I continued on and finally she really liked what I was doing. But then said, I'm a virgin. I said, no kidding. So, you're not going to do what I think you're going to do. I said, okay, can I do something else? She goes, I don't know why you're laughing. She said, yes. So I proceeded, because this is a Toyota, it's very hard, although it's a lot thinner than, by the way, to move down, and I don't know if you know anything about Catholic girls in the 60s, but they had a white blouse and a pleated skirt. And I forgot to tell you, I picked her up right out of school. So I proceeded to, and I have to be very careful about this part because I do know we have somebody under 18 here at least, and it's a relative too. But I proceeded to kiss her legs, if you get my drift. And I was moving to where I wanted to be. And I was going there quite slowly and efficiently because even as stupid as I was, I could tell that she didn't mind. And I got to the point where I thought I was really going to make a difference. And the legs came around my ears to the point that, first of all, I couldn't breathe at that point. Now I can't hear. I was a wrestler in high school. Never had a big clamp like that. I thought my life was gone. I saw light in front of my eyes, couldn't hear, couldn't breathe, and I am grabbing these legs, trying to get them away from me. She wasn't letting go. So I didn't know what to do. So I thought, I'll pray to God because I'm dying. I got a Catholic girl, maybe, this is the way I'm supposed to go out. A virgin, by the way, myself. Well, about 30 seconds went by, maybe 40 seconds, but I thought it was like 2.5 hours. And I finally got released. And I got up, and I pulled her skirt off my head so I could see, and I said, what the hell goes, the policeman was knocking on the window and I didn't know what to That's great, but that's not the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part was, the policeman is a guy that you babysat for on a regular basis. And he, me being down, all he saw was my shoulders and my butt. That's all he saw. So I thought I was home free. The good Catholic girl, the reason I was known and clamped like that, so I thought she thought maybe he wouldn't see me with the big flashlight, it's this big. No, she didn't want him to see my face. But then she told him who I was. 2 weeks later, I get a ticket for 26 in a 25. That's my story.